Class, our next two topics are about excise tax and documentary stamp tax or DST. Now, these are minor topics, so mabilis lang yung magiging discussion natin for today. Let's start with excise tax. Excise tax. Okay, so class, yung excise tax, ilang beses na narinig sa akin yan all throughout the review. And basically, it means it's a tax on right or privilege. Ang pinakamaganda example niyan, yung transfer taxes. Okay, nagbabayad tayo ng estate tax and donors tax because it's a tax on right to transfer property from one person to another. Okay? Pero today class, yung pag-uusapan natin, yung excise tax in a form of business tax. Right? And this excise tax is imposed on excisable goods. So, ibig sabihin class, hindi lahat ng goods or ng products subject to excise tax. Lahat lang ng excisable goods. Sir, anong mga examples yan? So, class, punta tayo sa G-sheets natin. Ayan, so nilista ko na dito lahat ng products na subject to excise tax. Marami yan, okay? Hindi mo kailangan i-memorize yan. Kailangan natin maging familiar. Sige class, mabilisan lang. Isa-isay natin. Number 1, alcohol products. Such as distilled spirits, wines, fermented liquor. Yung mga naka-bold items na lang pansinin mo dyan. Tobacco products, okay, cigarettes, petroleum products, ayan, lubricants, etc. Number 4, we have mineral products. Number 5, we have sweetened beverages. Actually, kasi example ng sweetened beverages dyan, yung mga soft drinks. Okay? And then, iced tea. Ay, mga ganyan. Mga juice. Mga in cans. Sweetened beverages yan. Distilled spirits, ibig sabihin ng alcoholic products din yan. Cigars, automobiles, and non-essential goods such as jewelry, and perfumes, mineral products, non-essential services. Example nito class yung cosmetic surgery. Ayan. So basically, excisable goods plus isang non-essential service such as cosmetic surgeries. Kaya medyo mahal yung cosmetic surgeries because subject to excise tax yun. Okay? Now class, sige, isulat ulit natin dito. When you say excisable goods, meron kang alcohol, okay, cigarettes, petroleum, we have minerals, automobiles, and then sweetened beverages. We have non-essential products and non-essential services. For example, class, yung cosmetic surgery. Ayan. Alright. And also, class, kung maalala nyo under train law, tinaasan yung tinatawag natin na sin tax. Okay? Yung alcohol and cigarettes na yan, yung excise tax na yan, ang ibang tawag dyan is sin tax. Okay? Basically, ang goal nyan is para i-discourage mo yung consumption ng alcohol and cigarettes. Actually, may sin tax dito sa sweetened beverages. Okay? Yun yung objective dyan ng government para mas konti yung mag-consume yan. Right? And yeah, basically, that's your excisable goods. Now, an excise tax class is also a form of indirect tax. So parang VAT lang yan in OPT, wherein pinapa-shoulder sa buyer or sa consumers yung excise tax. Okay? Now, ito class yung important dito. Excise taxes can be imposed together with VAT or OPT. Okay? Can be imposed together with VAT or OPT. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng VAT and excise tax, pwedeng OPT and excise tax. Okay? Unlike yung VAT and OPT, hindi pwede magsabayan. Okay? Pero yung excise, pwedeng on top of VAT or OPT. Gets? Alright, now, we have two types of excise tax. Familiar na rin kayo dito. We have what you call specific excise tax and we have ad valorem. So when you say specific, based on units or based on weight, volume, or other units of measurement. Pag naman sinabi mong ad valorem, the excise tax is based on the value of the product. Usually, yung gross selling price. Okay, so class, if babasahin mo yung tax code, actually, makikita mo dyan yung mga amount or percentage of excise tax, okay, per type of product, okay, or per product. Huwag mo nang i-attempt na alamin yun, okay, kasi sobrang dami nun, hindi mo memorize yan. And actually, every year, nag-iiba yan, nag-i-increase yan by 4%, no? Nag-i-increase by 4% yan, increase every year. Alright, so huwag mo na i-attempt. Kailangan na natin, familiar tayo na ito yung mga subject to excise tax. Now class, take note also na yung tax base mo should be the amount exclusive of VAT. Okay, tanda mo, exclusive of VAT. Yun yung tax base mo ng excise tax. Alright? And last one class, for this one, ang kailangan mo tandaan, kailan ba binabayaran yan? Ganito yan class. Depende kung paano mo pinoproduce yung excisable goods. Pwedeng domestically produced or locally produced, ikaw yung nagmamanufacture mismo, or pwedeng ini-import mo yan. Okay? Or imported. Okay? Again, excisable goods can be domestically produced or imported. Pag domestically produced, babayaran mo siya before the goods are removed at the point of production. For example, class, meron tayong factory. Okay, may factory tayo. Nagpo-produce tayo ng cigarettes. Okay? Bago natin tanggalin yung cigarettes sa factory, bago mo ilagay yan sa warehouse or bago mo ilagay sa mga stores, babayaran mo muna yung excise tax. Kaya sabi dyan, before the goods are removed at the point of production. Alright? Huwag mo yun. Ibig sabihin, babayaran mo siya kahit hindi mo pa nabebenta. Alright? Unlike VAT and OPT. Pag VAT and OPT, di ba, point of sale? Pag binenta mo na yan, kasi annual gross sales or receipts, ibig sabihin, pag nabenta mo na, tsaka ka subject to VAT and OPT. Pero pag excise tax, pag i-remove pa lang sa production, sa factory, dun ka magbabayad. Alright? Kahit hindi mo ibenta yun, babayaran mo ng excise tax yan. Pag naman imported class, before removal of the goods from customs. Actually, medyo familiar na rin kayo dyan. Naalala niyo yung discussion natin on VAT, sa input VAT on importation. Diba, sasabi ko doon, okay, pwedeng based on landed cost or based on dutiable value. Remember? Okay. And then sabi ko, plus excise tax if any. Ayun. Yun yung sinasabi ko doon na imported. Ulitin ko, kailan binabayaran yung excise tax? Pag domestically produced, bago mo tanggalin sa production. Pag in-import mo, bago mo siya ma-remove sa customs. Actually, hindi mo mailalabas sa customs yan hanggat hindi bayad yung excise tax. Gets? Yun lang. O, yan lang kailangan mo tandaan sa excise tax. Let's go to our handouts. Number 1. ABC Company produced 10,000 units of excisable goods that has a total wholesale value of 1,680,000 inclusive of VAT. Sabi ko kanina, exclusive of VAT dapat. If sold on retail basis, the goods would be priced at 2.1 million. The goods are subject to a 20% ad valorem tax. Compute for the excise tax. Okay. Now, ano pipiliin mo dyan, class? 1,680 or 2.1? Yung 1,680, kung magkano mo siya produce o wholesale value. Yung isa naman, retail value. Take note na binabayaran mo siya, point of production pa lang. So, tama lang na ang gawin mo dyan is, ang gamitin mo is the 1,680. Hindi yung 2.1 million. Right? So, wholesale value tayo. Wholesale value, which is 1,680,000. Kaya lang inclusive of VAT yan. Tanggalin mo yung VAT na muna. 1,680 divided by 1.12, you get 1.5 million. 1.5 million, ito yung exclusive of VAT. Tama? Sabi ko, tax base mo, exclusive of VAT. Multiply natin by ad valorem tax, which is 20%. 1.5 million times 0.2, 300,000. Excise tax natin for problem number 1 is 300,000, letter A. So, kasi, again, yung mga rates na yan, binibigay sa problem yan. Okay? Yung 20% may mention sa problem yan. So, use the wholesale value. Huwag mong gagamitin yung retail price in this case. Okay? Kasi ang ginagawa mo dyan, binabayaran mo yung excise tax sa point of production pa lang, hindi pag binenta mo. Okay? Pag binenta mo kasi, retail price yun. Dito yun. Parang VAT and OPT. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, on January 1, 2021, ABC Cigar Incorporated manufactured 100 boxes of cigars and removed them from the place of production. Bago mo ma-remove, bayaran mo muna excise tax. As of January 1, 2020, take note of the dates. Yung kanina 2021, ngayon 2020. The cigars shall be subject to an excise tax as follows. Specific tax per cigar, kasi ang specific tax, weight, volume, units of, or other units of measurement. In this case, per cigar. 6.33 pesos. Ad valorem tax based on the net retail price. Kasi class, based on value to, pag ad valorem tax. The specific tax is subject to 4% increase per year. The retail selling price, net of VAT or exclusive of VAT, was 10,000. And one box of cigars contained 25 cigars. Compute the excise tax per box of cigar on January 1, 2021. Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Dalawa yung excise tax mo dyan. Meron kang specific and you have an ad valorem. Sabi dyan, yung specific is 6.33 per cigar. Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. 6.33 per cigar. Ang isang box of cigar, meron daw 25 cigars. So, times 25. And then, yung given sa atin na 6.33 is January 1, 2020. Ang pinapakompute sa atin, January 1, 2021. And we know, may 4% increase yan. So, times 0.04 mo, times 1.04. Okay? Now, 6.33 times 25 times 1.04, specific tax natin, class, 164.58. Ayan. Doon naman tayo sa ad valorem. Sabi dyan, based on the net retail price per cigar. Now, yung net retail price nakalagay dyan, class, 10,000. Exclusive of VAT na, so hindi mo kailangan tanggalin yung VAT. Multiply natin by 20%. 10,000 times 20%, that's 2,000. 164.58 plus 2,000, 2164.58. That is letter boy, 2165. Okay, letter B. Let's go to number 3. Okay, number 3. ABC Company imported. Okay, nag-import naman. So, before mo i-remove sa customs yan, bayaran mo muna yung excise tax mo. Subject to 10% excise tax and 20% customs duties. Kasi pag nag-import ka, marami kang babayaran dyan, class. Bago mo malabas sa customs yan. Bayad ka ng excise tax, bayad ka ng customs duties, bayad ka ng VAT. Alright? Tatlo na yan. Plus yung other costs pa. As per Section 131B of the Tax Code, unless otherwise specified by law, the imported goods imposed with ad valorem tax shall be subject to the same rate and basis of excise tax applicable to locally manufactured articles. Data relating to the imported articles were as follows. Meron tayong purchase price, kung magkano binili sa supplier abroad. Other inland costs, okay, so yun yung mga binayaran mong other costs mo, other expenses sa customs. And then domestic wholesale price net of VAT, 13.5 million. Okay. Pinapakompute sa ating class, excise tax, customs duties, and VAT. Doon mo tayo sa excise tax. Okay, so sabi ko, dapat exclusive of VAT. Now, yung binigay sa atin dito na 13.5 million, the wholesale price, parang dito. Wholesale ginamit natin na 13.5 million, hindi mo na kailangan tanggalin dyan yung VAT kasi net of VAT daw, okay, or exclusive of VAT. Multiply natin yan by 10% yung excise tax natin, class. So, 13.5 million times 10%, our excise tax for this problem is 1,350,000. Ganun na siya kadali. Kaya sabi dyan, class, dun sa middle portion, basis of excise taxes applicable to locally manufactured articles. Okay? Pag manufacture mo siya locally, ito yung equivalent niya, yung 13.5 million. Yan daw yung basis of your excise tax. Okay? Next is customs duties. Plus, pag customs duties, tingnan natin kung paano gagawin natin dyan. How much yung binili natin yan from the supplier abroad? Purchase price natin dyan, 6 million. Tama? Add mo lahat ng inland costs or mga expenses natin. Inland costs. 1.5 million. Okay? And then, huwag mo kalimutan isama yung excise tax. Naalala nyo sa VAT discussion natin, sabi ko, plus excise tax if any. Ayun. Meron tayong excise tax. 1,350,000. 1,350,000. Therefore, actually, ang tawag natin dito, total landed costs. Naalala nyo yan? Landed cost or dutiable value. Ayan yan. 6 million plus 1.5 million plus 1,350,000, 850,000. Landed cost natin, 850,000. And then, multiply natin by 20% yung customs duties times 20%. You get 1,770,000. 1,770,000. This is our customs duties. And then last one, VAT naman class. Sa VAT, sama-sama na natin. We have purchase price, 6 million. Okay? We have inland costs na 1.5 million. Isama mo yung excise tax. Okay? Kasi class, naalala nyo sa VAT discussion natin na ano ba yung basis niyan? Gross sales or receipts, tama? And yung gross sales or receipts, by definition natin, kasama yung excise tax doon. Tama? Sabi ko doon, gross sales minus sales returns, allowances, discounts, plus excise tax. Kaya tayo nag-a-add ng excise tax dito. Okay? 1,350,000. Huwag mo kalimutan yung customs duties, kasama yan, which is 1,770,000. Add natin lahat class. So, 6 million plus 1.5 million plus 1,350,000 plus 1,770,000, 10,620,000. 10,620,000 times our rate na 12% VAT. Okay, babayaran natin ng VAT is times 0.12, 1,274,400. 1,274,400. Okay, final answers, excise tax natin, 1,350,000. Customs duties, 1,770,000. VAT natin is 1,274,400. So, bago matanggal yung mga in-import mo, babayaran mo muna yan. Otherwise, hindi mo makukuha, hindi mo matatanggal yan sa customs duties. Okay? Ayan. So, yun ang kailangan mo tandaan about excise tax. Sige, class. Let's go to our next topic. Documentary stamp tax. I-erase ko muna to. Mabilis lang din to, DST. So, diniscuss ko na lang din, class, para at least kahit pa paano may alam tayo sa mga kahit minor topics na yan, na-discuss pa rin natin. Okay, so open our G-sheets. Open your G-sheets. DST, or Documentary Stamp Tax. DST. Alright. So class, basahin natin sa G-sheets natin. DST is an excise tax levied on documents, instruments, loan agreements, papers, evidencing the acceptance, assignment, sale, or transfer of an obligation, rights, property, incident, thereto. Okay? So basically, DST class, imposed yan on certain documents, instruments, agreements, etc. Okay, so tingnan natin. Sir, anong mga examples niyan? So, class, tingnan natin. Like, nakalagay din dyan, liable. Sino yung liable dyan? Person making, signing, issuing, accepting, or transferring documents. Okay. So actually, class, ang general rule natin, ang liable dyan is the benefiting party. Benefiting party. Ano ba example ng document na subject to DST? For example, class, deed of sale. Sa deed of sale, syempre may dalawa tayong parties dyan. Meron tayong buyer, meron tayong seller. And we learn from income tax, si seller siya bahala magbayad sa capital gains tax. Siya liable dyan. Tama? Ngayon, si buyer, siya naman yung magbabayad ng documentary stamp tax. So usually ganyan yan. Alright? Now, para may idea tayo, ano yung mga documents na, or documents, agreements, instruments na subject to DST, i-run through natin class yung G-sheets natin. Pero again, yung naka-bold lang dyan, yun lang yung tatandaan mo. Yung iba, basahin mo lang once, okay na yan. Pero yung naka-bold, tandaan mo yan. Subject to DST, shares of stock. Pag nag-issue ka ng shares, okay, babayad ka ng DST. Okay. Original issuance, 2 pesos per 200 par value. Pag with par. Pag no par, 2 pesos per 200 based on actual consideration. Mamaya, meron tayong exercises for this. Subsequent issuance. Okay, yung isa, original issuance, nag-reissue ulit. With par, mas mababa na, 1.5 pesos per 200. And you know par, 50% of DST paid on the original issuance. Okay. Ano pa? Shares of stocks yung una, bonds. bonds, debentures, certificate of stock, etc. Number 3, sales, agreements, certificates of stock. Okay, so basically, meron tayong shares of stock, meron tayong bonds, ano pa? Well, maramihan actually, class. Huwag natin basahin lahat, yung mga naka-bold na lang. Debt instruments, ayan, 1.5 pesos per every 200 peso, no? And ano pa? We have deed of sale. Ayan, yung ginawa ko example kanina. Tandaan mo to. Deed of sale, benta ka ng property, bukod sa CGT, kailangan magbayad ng DST, which is 15 pesos for every 1,000 pesos selling price. Okay? And meron ding class na not subject to DST. Ayan. Marami yan. Again, basahin mo lang once. Okay? Pero wag mo nga i-attempt na i-memorize yan. So, sige, alin ang mga tatandaan namin, sir? Shares of stock, na may original issuance and subsequent issuance, bonds, okay? Which is, and then, actually, tatlo lang yan. Deed of sale of real property. Okay, tatlo lang yan. Shares of stocks, bonds, deed of sale of real property. Okay, now, sir, paano pag hindi binayaran yan? Effect of non-payment. For example, yung kanina, nagbayad, bentahan ng lupa, land, deed of sale. Si buyer, hindi niya binayaran yung DST. Ano, sir, yung epekto niyan? Tatlo. Number 1, the document will not be, or the deed of sale will not be accepted for recording in the registry of deeds. Okay? In the registry of deeds. Ano ba yung registry of deeds? So basically, diyan ka nagpapatransfer ng title. So in this case, for example, si buyer si X, si seller si Y, si X hindi niya binayaran yung DST. Ngayon, pag pumunta siya ng registry of deeds, nakita ni registry of deeds, hindi bayad yung documentary stamp tax mo O hindi niya itatransfer yung pangalan ng land from Y to X, dapat bayaran mo na. Okay? Yun yung una niyang effect. Number 2, will not be admissible as evidence in court. Okay? So, hindi siya i-accept as evidence in court. And then number 3, notary or authorized officers, sulat niyo muna, notary or authorized officers shall not effect the acknowledgement of the document. Okay. So, isa-isay natin. Number 1, again, hindi ka makapag-transfer ng property, okay, sa Registry of Deeds. Number 2, hindi i-admit sa court as evidence. And number 3, basically, hindi ka ino-notarize. Okay? For example, yung deed of sale, dinala mo sa notary public. Nakita nun, yung deed of sale mo, hindi ba yung DST O hindi namin ino-notarize yan. Yun ibig sabihin itong number 3. Gets? Okay. Take note, class, na pag hindi ka nagbayad ng DST, it does not invalidate the contract. It does not invalidate the contract. Okay? So, for example, class, si buyer and seller, okay, si X and Y, yung deed of sale nila, valid pa rin yun. Okay, valid pa rin yun kahit hindi bayaran yung DST. Basta ito lang ang effect, yung tatlo na yan. Pero as to validity between the parties, binding pa rin yun kay X and Y, valid pa din yung contract nila. Got it? Or for example naman, si X and Y, ang contract nila is voidable, okay? O kaya unenforceable. Pag hindi binayaran to, walang effect doon yun. Voidable and unenforceable pa rin yun. Gets ba? Okay, tanda mo lang na ito yung tatlong effects niya. Okay, so yun lang kailangan mo tandaan sa documentary stamp tax. Let's answer our handouts. Number 4. Number 4. ABC Corporation sold its commercial land and building for 5 million. Sale of real property. Tama? And sabi dyan, sale of real property, 15 pesos per 1,000. So, tandaan mo na lang din yan para kahit hindi mention sa problem, may idea ka. To XYZ company, the land had a fair value per assessor's office of 1.5 million and zonal value of 2 million. The building had a 4 million fair value per assessor's office. The DST is 15 pesos per 1,000. Compute for the DST. Dito kasi sinabi na, okay, 15 pesos per 1,000. Pero if I were you, tatandaan ko na lang din yan. Okay, dito na tayo magsagot. Problem number 4. Ang gagawin ko dyan, class, syempre, lagi naman pa nagbebenta ka ng property, whichever is higher lagi. Now, yung land dyan is, okay. So, yung land, may zonal value na 2 million. Yung selling price ng dalawa is 5 million, tama? Pero si land, may 2 million siya. Si building naman, yung fair value niya is 4 million. Okay? So, 6 million to. Selling price is 5 million. So, pili natin whichever is higher. So, that's 6 million. For every 1,000 daw, okay, magbabayad ka ng 15 pesos na documentary stamp tax. So, gagawin ko dyan, 6 million divided by 1,000 times 15 pesos, that is 90,000. Answer natin, class, DST natin of sale of real property, 90,000. So, dito natin per 1,000. So, ang gagawin mo, yung amount, di-divide mo sa 1,000, multiply mo sa 15. Okay? Answer for number 4 is boy. Number 5. Under Section 179 of the Tax Code, on every sale, original issuance of debt instruments, there shall be collected a DST of 1.5 pesos per 200 or fractional thereof on the issue price, provided that for such debt instruments with terms of less than 1 year, the doc stamp tax to be collected shall be proportional amount in accordance with the ratio of each term in number of days to 365 days. Compute for the DST. Okay, question 1. A promissory note is issued with a face value of 3 million. So sabi dyan, for every 200, so 3 million divided by 200, magbabayad ka ng 1.5 pesos. So ganyan lang. 3 million divided by 200 times 1.5, you get 22.5. Dito walang problema kasi yung term is 3 years. Okay? May nakalagay sa provision dyan na kapag daw less than 1 year, ipoprorate natin sa 365 days. So, paano yan, sir? Sa question 2, 150 days. Tama? Ganito gagawin mo dyan. 2.5 million. For every 200, magbabayad tayo ng 1.5. Ayan. Kaya lang, less than 1 year. So, iprorate natin times 150 over 365. O, ganyan lang. So, 2.5 million divided by 200 times 1.5, this is times 1.5, and then times 150 divided by 365, answer is 7705, letter C. Question number 1, letter C, 22.5. Question number 2 is also C, 7705. Okay? Alright, so dito na ako mag-solve. Okay, so let's go to number 6. Number 6, ABC Corporation was organized with a proposed authorized capital stock of 5 million divided into 250,000 common shares. Compute for the DST upon the following scenario. Scenario 1. The shares were issued with a par value of 20 pesos per share. So, titingnan ako sa G-sheets natin, class. Yan, so letter A, original issuance with par. Ilan yan? 2 pesos per 200. So, original issuance with par. Ayan. So, apply lang natin. 250,000, okay, yung in-issue na shares, times par value of 20 pesos. So, ilan yan? 250,000 times 20, you have 5 million. Ayan. So, 5 million, for every 200, magbabayad tayo ng 2 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, 5 million divided by 200 times 2. Ilan yan? 5 million divided by 200 times 2. Answer natin sa question, scenario number 1 is 50,000. Ayun. So again, yung scenario 1 natin, or question 1 natin, for every 200 pesos, 2 pesos. Kasi original issuance with par value. So lagyan natin ito, scenario 1. Okay. Scenario number 2. Continuing scenario 1, assume further that Mr. X, one of the shareholders, subsequently sold his 5,000 shares. Ano yun? Subsequent issuance with par value. Ano nakalagay dyan? 1.5 pesos for every 200. Tama? Now, paano yan, sir? So, 5,000 yung binenta ni X. Tama ba? Si Mr. X. And then, binenta niya yan with par value of 20. That is 100,000. Tama? For every 200, magbabayad siya ng 1.5. Divided by 200 times 1.5. So, 100,000 divided by 200 times 1.5. Answer natin, class, 750 Answer yan for scenario number 2. Scenario number 3. The shares were issued for a total consideration of 1 million. No par value. Okay, original issuance na no par, nakalagay dyan, 2 pesos for every 200 on the actual consideration. Okay, hindi based on total par value, based on actual consideration. So, 2 pesos for every 200. Ayan. So, 1 million yung total consideration. Divide lang natin yan by 200. For every 200, bayad tayo ng 2 pesos. So, 1 million divided by 200 times 2 pesos, you have 10,000. 10,000, answer natin yan for scenario number 3. And then last scenario, continuing scenario 3, assume further that the same 1 million, which is this one, worth of shares were subsequently sold for 1.2 million. Ano nakalagay dyan? Subsequent issuance, no par value. Nakalagay dyan, class, 50% of DST paid on the original issuance. 50% nung original na binayad na DST. How much yung binayad natin original? 10,000. Times 50%. That is 5,000. Answer natin here, 5,000. Take note, sa scenario 4, in-ignore natin yung 1.2 million. Kasi sabi dyan, 50% on DST paid on the original issuance. Ngayon, kaya 10,000 times 50%, 5,000. Final answers, 50,000, 750, 10,000, and 5,000. Okay, so klase lang matatandaan mo dyan. So as you notice, sa problem number 4, real property, problem number 5, notes, and problem number 6, shares of stocks. Yung tatlo lang na yan. Okay? And number 7, last item here, statement number 1, if the agreeing party failed to pay the DST, the government may enforce the tax against the other party. Actually, true yan. No? True yan. So, as far as the government is concerned, basta bayaran nyo yung DST na yan. So, true for statement 1. Statement 2, if one of the contracting parties enjoys exemption to DST, the other party who is not exempt shall be liable to the same. That's also true. Okay? That's also true. Number 3, documentary stamp taxes are levied independently of the legal status of the transaction, giving rise thereto. It must be paid upon the issuance of the said documents without regard as to whether the contracts are voidable, rescissible, unenforceable, or void. Parang yung related sa sinabi ko kanina. Walang effect yan, yung non-payment or payment of DST, wala siyang effect dun sa status of the contract between the parties, okay, X and Y. Right? So true for statement 3. Number 4, documents not specifically listed in the tax code may still be subject to DST. False yan. Yung nakalista lang dito, actually nasa G-sheets natin, yung mga nakalista lang dyan, iyan lang yung subject to DST. Pag wala dyan, hindi subject to DST. Okay? So false for statement 4. Statement 5, DST applies whenever the right or obligation arises from the Philippines or when property or object of contract is in the Philippines, regardless of the place where the document is executed. Actually, that's also correct. Okay? True. Statement 1, true. Statement 2, true. Statement 3, true. Statement 4, false. Statement 5, true. Answer dito, class, letter A. Only one of the above statements is false. Okay? So that's the end of our discussion for excise tax and documentary stamp tax.